Hello, busy bees. I'm your busy bee budget buddy. Welcome to my channel. Today, I'll be doing a cash stuffing video. Before we get started, I wanted to take a moment to say that this is my own experience that I'm sharing with you and is not meant as advice of any professional sort. You are more than welcome to follow along on my cash stuffing journey. My goal is to inspire you to take control of your own finances, however that looks for your situation. Let's get to the video. Sorry about that. I still have a slight cough. I got sick towards the last video, the end of the last video. It was really starting to kick in. So if you saw that one, I'm still kind of a little bit basically, for, the good descriptions. Okay, so for today's cash stuffing, I've already pulled a total of $824 from from my paycheck, and I'll be stuffing different amounts into different categories. I'll first go over the different categories that I'll be stuffing, then the denominations and how I pick them, and then finally the amounts that I'll be putting into each one. Let's get started. I'm sure if you're familiar with my videos, you already can see that there's some newness here. I have added in this new purple binder. Pretty excited about it. And there's also a few new envelopes as well. I did make a new, you'll see. You'll see what I made. Okay, so the categories. In my green binder, there is coffee, dining out, groceries, payment, and rent. In the blue binder, this is going to have the months of the year. So I do different health challenges and they're a month long. So that way you can kind of build better habits, but only really commit to like a month. That way it's not so overwhelming. And if it's new, it's not basically it's not overwhelming. So I start with each month and pick a new challenge. And I try to keep that as a habit. So it's just the months of the year in that one. Excuse me. In the red binder, we have Christmas, date night, gifts. There's also a new envelope in here. Seasonal activities, vacation, and yard. Excuse me. In the in the animal print binder, we have clothing, education, electronics, hair, household, kids, makeup, personal, pets, and shopping. The purple one is going to have a bunch of new envelopes. It's also going to have the gym and the wellness envelopes, which I moved over into this one. In the rose gold binder, I have added some envelopes, which you'll see, but I also broke down one of my envelopes into 3 separate categories instead of just one. That's the car binder or the car envelope. I'll tell you how I split that up when we get there. And then I've added in some more envelopes as well as still having emergency health and utilities in here. So let's go ahead and get into so denominations. I do like to explain how I do this just in case anyone's a little bit curious. I like to pull, excuse me. I like to pull the amount that will get me the fewest bills to stuff. So, for example, if I was doing $37.50, like $37.50, it would be a 20, a 10, a 5, 2 ones, and 2 quarters. Then I kind of go from there, figuring out the fewest amount of bills for the different ones that I pick out amount-wise. That being said, sometimes like this time I noticed when I was pulling and doing my cash planning, for some reason my math wasn't mathing and I got the right amount, but for some reason my tallies were off on the bill quantity. So there's going to be, I think, just one towards the end that is going to be a little bit, instead of being the smallest amount of bills possible, it's going to be like some 5s instead of smaller amounts. That's okay though. It's the same amount. It spends the same. It'll be fine. Let's get started with the actual cash stuffing now. So normally for coffee, I put in $20. This paycheck, I'm actually doing less for coffee and for dining out because I have added in new categories and new binders. It just makes more sense to try and do smaller amounts for this. At least this time. We'll see how it goes. So we are only going to be doing $10 for coffee. Today is the 22nd. I got paid yesterday, but I didn't have a chance to make this video yesterday. Unfortunately, but that's okay. We're doing it now. And that's what matters. So we are adding in $10, and that will put us at a total of 10. I also don't yet, I haven't pulled a pen for my purple one. So let's do that really quick too. There we go. Now everybody has a pen. Okay. Dining out is going to get 10 as well, which puts us at a total of 10. I always get really hopeful every fall and winter that I'm just not going to get sick that year. And that is not at all how it works. And especially now that I have a little one, it really doesn't work that way at all. Groceries is going to get its normal 50, and it still has 50 in here. So that puts us at a total of 100. So, oh my goodness, it's stuck in there. Almost like vacuum sealed. So 51. Payment is going to get $250. Puts us at a total of $250. 1, 2, 50. Rent is going to get 50. Puts us at a total of 50 in here. To the bank, doesn't need to get anything. For those of you who aren't familiar, for me, take to the bank is for example, in my health binder, I save up in case I have a medical bill that pops up or I need to get prescriptions or something like that. And if I pay for it on my card first, I deposit the money I need to take to the bank and then put that back in and essentially pay myself back for paying that. However, if it's a health bill and it's something that's a little bit over, but I also have that total together, in both like my bank account and the cash, then I'll try to use the cash entirely and then a smaller amount towards or from my bank account, just so that way it's like I did still use it and I'm not just trying to pay for it entirely out of pocket. So October is my like stretching / yoga challenge. And they aren't all colored in yet, but we are going to be adding $16. Today is the 22nd. And I will be coloring those in for some shorts later. So we should have a total of $17. I just haven't had a chance to really record shorts lately. So 10, 15, 16. And $1 is 17. I like doing it like this. So the blue binder is done because I don't have any more months that I'm stuffing for, because it's just the current month's challenge that I do that with. If I keep the habit, that's great, but I'm likely going to come back to it the following, like next year. I'll probably do the sugar challenge again and that sort of stuff. And I do still keep those habits. I still keep in mind how much added sugar I'm having. And like, that's really the goal, is that you're improving your health little by little. But I only do the current month's challenge for cash stuffing purposes, because otherwise that would just get too crazy. Like, it's great, pay yourself if you can, but I don't have those types of funds to cash stuff every time I'm doing good on all of them. that would be a lot, which is great. Again, totally awesome. If you can do that, perfect. I cannot. Okay, so Christmas, we are going to be adding in $20. And that is actually going to completely, fully fund this envelope. And let's have that deposit in there. So we should be at a total of $200. So let's confirm that really quick. And then I did laminate one of these ones, but I left the dollar amount open just so that way if I want to change it next year, I can. But that way I can just reuse it and not have to just print new ones all the time. Make it a little bit time saving for myself. So we should be at 200 total. 20, 40, 60, 80, 1, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 75, 80, 85, 90, 95, 96, 97, 98, 99, 200. So this is officially fully funded. So I want to start shopping probably, if I haven't already done the shopping for this, on Black Friday is when I'm going to start, or Cyber Monday. But I did make a little fully funded like placeholder tracker thingy, just so that way, like at quick glance, I can just look in here and go, you know what, this is all done. I don't have to worry about this one. The next time I do a cash stuffing video, I don't have to worry about that envelope. It is complete. So that's one of the new things that I've made. I can just boop, all done. Date night is going to get 60 this time, which feels kind of like a lot, but I know that we're going to go out to a restaurant. We're going to do a double date here soon, and we've already picked the place. I've kind of looked at the menu and the pricing and stuff, and and it should be fine if we go a little bit over. Like, that's okay. I don't expect us to use all of this though, but I would just feel better knowing that it's there if we wanted to use the whole entire $60. We don't have to think about it. So this will put us at a total of 60. And then if there is left over, like, awesome. That'll that can go into the next date night, or it can go into something else if I want it to, if I want to move it over. Like, really, it's kind of whatever I feel like using it for after that. But yeah, I'm excited. So gifts is going to get 10. Do. 10 puts us at a total of 10. All right, this is the first new envelope. This is personal care, and it's it's going to get $50, and it's so that way I can go and with my partner's brother's girlfriend, her and I like to go get our nails done together, and it's been a lot of fun. So I want to make sure that I have that set aside and I don't have to think about that. So I'm depositing a total of 50, which puts us at a total of 50 for the envelope. And this will also be fully funded this way as well. Is that silly to put that in there for this? I don't know. I don't know yet. But we're going to. That way, I already know that that's also ready to go. Seasonal activities is not going to get anything. Oh, I messed up on that. We already went to the pumpkin patch. It was fully funded, but I made a new tracker already. I made this a while ago. I did one that was laminated. And that way next year I can use it for the same thing. But it's already got $10 ready to go. So it's no longer fully funded, but we already are off to a good start. I took out all of the change portion because it was driving me a little bit batty. That being said, I also wanted to show you guys that, like, with these paper ones that I did save, one of the things that I'm doing with them, and I did it with the first debt payoff one too, is like, this is my little note that, like, these are my proof that I can do things. So if you're, excuse me, if you're someone who really needs that encouragement and it's hard for them to remember how far you've come or how much you've done, this is kind of a good idea, especially in the beginning. Like, this is my proof that I can save for some family fun. And this is proof that I'm capable of saving for my debt, for paying off debt. And it's a really good motivational tool if you're able to do that. That's what I'm using them for, is little, excuse me, little motivations. So that way, if I'm discouraged, I can just look and be like, this is what I've already done. These are things I've already done. It's not just fun. It's not just, the stuff that isn't as fun to most people. But it's a good visual reminder to be like, you're capable. You're totally capable of doing this. Vacation is not going to get anything. Yard normally isn't going to get anything this time of year. However, this number is really bothering me. So I did decide that I was going to add $3 to it, just so that way it's at $135 and not $132. So $3 for $135. Let's confirm that that is correct. So 1, 20, 25, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35. I'm just so proud of this. Like, this is so nice. And it kind of looks really cute. Like, it's simple, but it's cute. Maybe I'm just a little bit nerdy and I like doing this stuff. Excuse me. So sorry, guys. Okay, clothing is going to get $5, which should put us at a total of 40. 22nd deposit. So we have 10, 20, 30, 35, 40. Education is going to get 10. My goal right now is to get, I think there's a class my partner wants to take. And this is really for both of us because we are fortunate enough to have my partner stay home with the baby, which is great. He does, like, they do so wonderful together. And this works out really well for me because I really like my job and I get to come home and see my family. But basically, it's like, as sort of a thank you to him, I know that there's like a little class that he wants to take, and I want to make sure that I save for that too. Like this, I know that it's pretty obvious, especially with like Christmas and the seasonal activities and kids and stuff like that. This isn't just for me. This is for my family, for our futures, that sort of stuff. But it's also nice when it's like I can do a little bit extra and I know it's going to go towards something that's for somebody else. So we are adding in $10, which puts us at a total of 30. And I think this class is only like $50. I have to double check, and I don't know if there's any extra fees or anything associated with it, but it's something that I really want to do for him because he has been really wonderful in this. So 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, which is great. Electronics is going to get nothing this time. Hair is going to get 5, which puts us at a total of 35. Oh, we're adding in 5, puts us at a total of 35. So we have 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35. I think a normal haircut where I go, because I go to the cosmetology school, I think it's only like 10 or 15, but I feel better if I have more. So household is going to get nothing. Kids is going to get 5. And then that will put us at a total of $215. So we have 1, 2, 5, 10, 15. I don't know if you guys can hear that noise, but oh, I think it's the freezer. So my desk is in the garage and we have like a big standing freezer out here. And sometimes it just makes weird noises and it startles me. It's not weird noises, but like with other things going on, because this is essentially like a second living room for us. Like, so if the TV is on, you don't always hear the other little noises and stuff. Personal, I do off camera. Makeup is getting nothing. Pets is getting nothing this time. Shopping is also getting nothing. So that is the animal print binder. The new purple binder. The gym is already fully funded, so I did actually make a few of these because I knew I was going to need at least a couple. So I am going to stick that in there. I'm going to attempt to stick that in there. And then I also, I did go ahead and laminate this because I know I'll use it again next year. So I printed another one that isn't colored in for the next round, and then I can continuously use that as well. Wellness is going to get 5, which will put us at a total of 25. Oh my goodness, I already want this cough to go. So 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. This is another new envelope. This one is subscriptions. I'm going to start saving, not this paycheck, probably next paycheck. I kind of want to get a Canvas, like the the pro subscription. I use Canva a lot. It's how I made all of my trackers, my little placeholder for the fully funded, so I can just see that. But I've used it for like my thumbnails. I use it for all sorts of stuff. And it would just be really helpful to just have that, because the amount of time I would save myself, because almost every time I see something I like, when I start typing it in for Canva, if it's something I like, I can almost guarantee that it's a paid for one, or like one that you need the subscription for. Without fail, it's usually that, especially if it's one of the first ones I see and I'm like, I would be done with this by now. I also added one in called entertainment. This is another new envelope. This one I will be saving for right away. This is essentially it'll be for my YouTube channels. I have 2, by the way, not just this one, but I also have another one if you're into tarot. If you've seen the Mama Belle's tarot, that's me. But this will be for adding in like if I need to do another binder, if I want to do a tarot deck for the other channel, or if I want to get anything like if I want to get new fabrics for my little backdrop that I have here, or an actual stand. You got to start somewhere, and where I have started is I use a couple pieces of wood and drape fabric over it, and you know what? It doesn't look bad. You'd never know unless I tell you. So you got to start somewhere if you're going to do it. So yeah, this is to help me maybe save for an actual frame, like a frame holder. But it'll also be for other things like the binders, the envelopes, maybe some labels. That's actually probably going to be the first thing that I get, some labels. But yeah, so I did add in an entertainment or YouTube envelope. We are going to be depositing $5, and that puts us at a total of $5 because it is brand new. So $5. Not like this. Oh no, not quite the same purple. It's a little bit different. It doesn't look like it though, huh? That's okay. This has been my favorite set of nails that I've ever had done. And we're supposed to go again here in the next like week or so. And it's been really hard to try and decide a new design and new like style and stuff because this one's been really good. All right. So this is what I have split. So car has been split into 3. So now there's going to be car maintenance, car tabs, and then the oil changes. So car maintenance is going to get 10. This one's kind of full. I may end up having to I may already have to get another binder. We are going to be adding in 10. And you'll see a deposit on here that is from today already. And it's because I took the extra that was left over from my last oil change because I haven't saved up for the latest because I just got my oil change done. So I don't have to worry about that coming up right now. I will save for it right now with this paycheck. But basically what was left over between the 40 that I've already accounted for tabs and the difference between it and how much I had and paying for that oil change, I went ahead and moved that over to maintenance because I'll add to all 3 of these envelopes each time, I think. So 14 is already in here. We're going to be depositing 10, which puts us at 24. So we have 10, 20, 1, 2, 3, 4. For the card tabs, we are adding in 10 as well. That puts us at a total of 50. And I believe my tabs are only actually, I think it's just under $80. But I figure this will give me just a little bit of a buffer if it ever goes up a little bit. So we have 20, 40, 50. Which means we only have 40 to go before my card tabs will be fully funded. Maybe I'll add in a binder for fully funded ones. Probably not because it'll change too much to do that really. So for oil change, we are going to be depositing $15. And that will put us at a total of 15. All right, I like that way anyway. There we go. So credit card bills is a new one I've added in here as well. Just so that way, even though I already have an amount that I already pay, I kind of want to pay these off in the next few years. It's probably going to take a while, but that's okay. This will kind of give me, how I did the debt ones, just an easier visual for paying that off a little bit quicker. Because I'll make the payments, and then once I also have the amount that would pay it off, I think I'm going to do that. Or at least, X amount at a time. So credit card bills are going to get $30, which puts us at a total of 30. Yeah, the goal is to essentially, because I have 2 credit cards. One is $1,000 limit or something like that, which was used. It's actually a car repair one. and that was used to fix my AC, and there was like extra on top of that we had to pay. I couldn't afford it all at once, and so luckily I was able to get the credit card for it. But I really want to pay that off. So like the sooner I pay it off, the better. So because I have multiple debts, I am only going to be doing, I have 4 new ones I've added plus the one I was already adding into. The main one is still going to get the $40. Just like the emergency, it's going to get the same amount as emergency, and I bumped that up to 40 now. So it's going to get 40 for the main, but the others are only going to get 5. So it's going to be like a lot. It's not going to be a crazy amount all at once. I unfortunately, like, that's that doesn't work for me. Oh, I'm ready for this cough to go. I haven't even had it that long, but last year I had bronchitis and I had a cough for literally over 4 months. And I had been to the doctors 3 times total in that. And it was so rough. Like, I kept going in. I'm like, this cough isn't going away. Like, I need something. I need you to do something. And then they're like, well, it's only been this long, so we need you to wait a little bit longer and then come in again. And I'm like, I'm already here. I want this cough to go away. And then they finally, like, the last time I was telling them my symptoms, as well as the cough being there for so long, they're like, okay, we're going to get a chest x-ray. We're going to do this. We're going to make sure this. And I was like, perfect, cool. And then they, like, the medicine they prescribed that time actually helped. And it still took like almost another month for it to fully get out of my system and go all the way away. But I was like, I'm finally all the way better. But every time I cough now, I'm like, just so, like, I can't help but worry. I'm like, oh, this is going to be here forever, isn't it? Yeah, I don't wish that on anybody. It was so awful. It was so exhausting. I was literally like, when the way it started, I had these coughing fits that, like, I literally couldn't stop coughing. My whole body felt like I'd been doing just constant back exercises all day, every day. And I was so sore for days. And I was just like, I'm so tired. Please make it stop. Okay. So we added 40 into the first debt. We had 80. So now adding that 40 should put us at 120. So 20, 40, 60, 80, 120. And then when I'm done with this debt, what I'm going to do is move on to the next debt and start paying extra into it. So it'll still get the 5, but then I'm also going to add the 40 that I would normally put here into this one. That way it's kind of doing that snowball effect where it's like I'm starting at the smallest and I'm going to get that completely paid, and then I'm going to start knocking everything else out. Like, I'm going to start building it up and building it up. So this debt is going to get a total of 5, which puts us at a total of 5 as well. It's always towards the end of these videos that I feel like I start getting really chatty. I start talking to you like I'm teaching you and or I'm your best friend, which hopefully you guys enjoy my content enough to consider me a little bit of a BFF at this point. We've been here for a few months together. All right, this debt is also going to get $5. Oh, this part is for the date, not how much. Adding in 5 for a total of 5. And I did add in trackers for these as well. And the bigger it gets, I think the bigger ones all have like a total goal amount, where the smaller one doesn't. And as I get these done, I'll also color those in as well. These ones I also kept as paper rather than laminate because I don't want to go back. I don't want to have to wipe any of that off. But also because I do think that I want to use this as motivation and keep it with me. So it's like, hey, if I ever need to like remember how far I've come, I can. But I may also like keep like a section for like writing down any details and then put it in. I have like a little binder where I keep track of stuff I've paid and payments made, debts that I have, those sorts of things. Just so that way I also have like a recorded history of like if anything were to happen, I can be like, no, I did actually pay this. This is the confirmation. This is how much I paid. This is my like, and maybe attach it to like a paid in full email or note or documentation, something like that. Basically, I'm documenting it as well. So these are just little tips that if you want to use them, I mean, feel free. Like this is, I want all of us to do well because the more of us that do better, the better we can do. So it's kind of like it feeds into itself, but in a positive way and not like a negative feed back and forth. So I'm going to give you the little tips and tricks that I'm doing or plan on doing so that way you can also do them, because how are we going to get better if we don't help each other out? I mean, I'm sure there's other ways. So 5 is what we're adding into this one as well for a total of 5. But that's basically my point, is that I want us to all do well. And yeah, here are my tips and tricks, and you can follow along with me. And if it works for you, awesome. And if you find other things that you think are really wonderful too, I would love to hear about those in the comments. This debt is also going to get $5 for a total of 5. Basically, feel free to share anything you want. Obviously, that is appropriate. And I'll share what I can with you because, yeah, it's really good to help each other out. Emergency is going to get a total of 40, which should put us at a total of 465. Excuse me. And this one I will eventually be switching over to the laminated one, but while I don't need to, I'm not gonna. All right, so there should be 465 here. So 20, 40, 60, 80. 1, 20, 40, 60, 82. 20, 40, 60, 83. 20, 40, 60, 84. 20, 40, 50, 55, 60, 61, 62, 63, 64, 65. Now, those last few ones were super crisp. I hate super crisp bills. I think I used to like really crisp ones until I started working. And some of my first jobs were as a cashier and trying to do things quickly and trying to like essentially count the bills really quickly, but they're sticking together and you're just like, oh my gosh, this is gonna drive me insane. Okay. So health is going to get $60. We are depositing 60 for a total of 60. So 50, 60. Let's close that. It's really stuck. Utilities, which is essentially my phone bill, is going to get $35. This is the one that is a little bit weird. I don't know why my tallies were a little bit wrong, but they were wrong. And so now I still have 35. So let's just double check. So 20, 25, 30, 35 being added in. So that should put us at 155. But I don't really understand why it's like that. I was really struggling when I did my cash planning the other day, and I don't know why. I just could not figure it out. I had two different tallies, like the tally quantity, like the total amount that I had out of the denominations when I tallied up the bills that I needed was like 120 or 820, and my total amount that I got for how much, because I try to like do ways to double check it, but it was 824. So I was like, which one is correct? So I think I spent like a half an hour on it. It was just ridiculous. I was like, oh my gosh. Like just on the trying to double check my tallies and the amount. And I was like, I give up at this point. Like I'm exhausted. I want to go home. Like I just got to do this. Okay, so this should be 155. So 20, 40, 60, 80, 90, 1, 10, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 51, 52, 53, 54, 55. Okay, so that was correct. That's great. Because I don't know what I would have done if it was wrong. I mean, I do. I would probably try and figure out where, and it would take a while, but I'm just grateful that it was not, after the amount of time it took to figure out my tallies and stuff. Okay, that is all of the binders. I now have a total of $824 cash stuffed from my paycheck into the different categories. Some envelopes I didn't stuff on this check either because they're fully funded, like the gym one and the Christmas. Well, I guess Christmas did get fully funded with this one, so that did get stuffed. But some just aren't a priority at the moment, and some I'm probably going to stuff every other check or so. As they get bigger, I'll make placeholders and deposit them into the into like actual savings accounts. Until then, this is how I'm going to be saving. The different things that are important to me, I'll prioritize certain things over others. Like for fall, before, especially before October, I'll add into the seasonal activities category. Before November, I'll add into Christmas. After that, I might take a break from those, but I'm not entirely sure how long of a break. But that is all for this cash stuffing video. If you liked it and want to follow along, please feel free to like, subscribe, comment. If you think that there's someone who's also going to get value out of my content or just enjoy it in general, please feel free to share it with them as well. I'm excited to share my experience with you all. Have a great day and good luck on your own cash stuffing and budgeting journeys.